Welcome to part 2 of the migraine cure. Number 1, for migraines, hydration is key. You have to drink water commensurate with your body weight, and that means drinking an ounce of water per kilogram of body weight. So for example, I am 90 kilograms approximately, so I would drink 90 ounces of water in divided doses throughout the day. Next, I want to talk about caffeine. Caffeine has a love-hate relationship with migraine. Now, drugs like Excedrin contains caffeine and is part of the reason why they work. So migraines can be helped by caffeine, but migraine can also be triggered by caffeine because caffeine dehydrates you and affects how your brain cells work. So if caffeine is a trigger for you, you want to wean yourself off. Avoid coffee, cola, Diet Coke, Pepsi. All these drinks that are high in caffeine may be triggering your migraine. Now, some persons will say, if I stop drinking my coffee, I get a wicked headache. Now, that's not a migraine really. That's a caffeine withdrawal headache. And you want to withdraw off caffeine slowly over a few days until you're able to do without coffee. Dairy, gluten, alcohol, MSG are all triggers for migraine. Dairy means like milk and cheese. Alcohol, you know what that is, so that's not going to work if you have migraine. Gluten is ubiquitous. It's in everything, but it's a big trigger for many migraine sufferers and they don't know it. So we're talking about wheat and flour, rye and barley, all those breads, buns and bullas, croissants, bagels, cakes, buns, all wheat products, all gluten containing products are potential triggers for migraines and they must be avoided. There are many alternatives in the gluten-free and whole food section of your supermarket. Artificial sweeteners are another big category of foods that may trigger migraines. So if you see a food marked diet, no sugar, low sugar, sugar-free, if you have migraine, you probably want to avoid this kind of food. It probably has an artificial sweetener. Common ones include Splenda, NutraSweet, Equal, Sweet and Low, aspartame. Avoid them. Nuts are a big trigger. Cashews, for example, is a high histamine food, and so you avoid cashews. And by extension, other high histamine foods, which are going to include your fermented and pickled foods, so your red herring, your salt mackerel, any kind of cured meat, cured soy products like miso, natto, tempeh, olives, avocados, mushrooms, mustard, vinegars, dried fruits, salsa, tomato juice, tomato ketchups, all fermented, all high histamine, big triggers for migraines. You want to avoid these. You want to join me now for part 3 to find out what supplements you should take and what lifestyle changes would help with your migraine.